Shane Gillis just made his comeback to the stage of SNL after he was fired by their team back in 2019 due to resurfaced clips of very problematic jokes that he made on podcasts. And I think that this is his official victory lap over SNL, which is failing. And it's proof that maybe in general, when something doesn't work out for you and it looks like a door is closing, it just means that another door is going to open for you in the future.
Every time that's happened to me, it just hits me right in the face.
It's a nice underdog story.
It is.
Right? So a lot of the media is misrepresenting the way that this monologue was received.
There's ridiculous
to say the least.
There's ridiculous cope here from the media.
Shane Gillis opens SNL hosting gig with several jokes about Down syndrome 5 years after his infamous firing. Another said Shane Gillis bombs on SNL with Down syndrome and gay jokes. Another one said, Shane Gillis asks you not to Google him in cringy SNL monologue. So, they're determined to make you think that this guy bombed.
But here's the thing. The jokes were funny. However, it wasn't that warmly received by the audience.
I thought it was perfectly... I mean, some of the audience laughter seemed a little bit manufactured. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of you guys in the chat were saying, like, who watches SNL?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I didn't see this because I don't watch SNL, and
Good for
nobody
you.
does anymore.
I thought
so I wouldn't know what's normal for a monologue, but...
He definitely... Okay, so here's the thing. He started off shaky. He was definitely nervous at the beginning, but he recovered it pretty quickly, and I thought, like, look, his humor doesn't really lend itself super well to PG television.
No.
Right? In general. But he recovered quickly, and the way that he told the stories was well done. I didn't think that there was anything... There's nothing in that performance, if you're not biased, that says he bombed. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they definitely were panning to the band members in the background who were looking very bitter.
I do have this. Let's. I don't know if I can play the audio, but here's the clip of the girl in the background. She's fantastic.
She looks like she's a child.
She's
Whose
like,
daughter is this?
Not funny.
Whose daughter is this, and how did they get her on SNL? I have seen her before not laughing, like at Dave Chappelle's monologue as well. Someone said the band behind Shane Gillis not laughing at all makes this hilarious opening monologue even funnier.
I love Shane's podcast. Anna Shade's Secret Podcast, I think it's called. And his mystique is that he's a bro.
Yeah.
Like, he chugs beers, he likes hot women, likes cheeseburgers, you know what I mean? Like, he's a bro. And SNL, I think it's like theater kid energy, you know what I mean? It's like theater kid, debate club, yada yada. And I think in a way it offends them that he can do both, that he can play a character and also, you know, be a football player.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the divide is. And also, but before the show, we were talking about that this is kind of an annoying subject to cover, and it's because everyone's so terminally online and partisan that you either gotta say this was the second coming of Christ or the worst thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, like, as per usual, the I guess right side of the culture war is overly eager to claim a victory where it doesn't exist, or claim someone as being on their side when it's really just a comedian doing his job and trying to be funny and recover from being canceled. Like, he's not right wing in any sense of the word.
I saw people arguing about whether it was okay to take your kids to Disney World. Like, if you're boycotting Disney but your kid wants to go to Disney World, and I was just like, bro, it's terminally on. If your kid wants to go to Disney World, take your kid. Like, I've been the same on all of this. Like, I just don't care about boycotts and stuff like that. I also don't care about culture war.
People were all too eager to be like, this guy just shifted the Overton window, pop the champagne, it's over for the SJWs.
We're so back.
Like, we're so back. And Bertman tweeted, Shane Gillis said, the R slur on SNL. We are so effing back. Another one said Shane Gillis bringing back calling things gay and R-worded on SNL like we used to do back in middle school. Let's go.
Time only moves in one direction, folks, and it's not going to get better.
I mean, I do see the positives of being able to say delicious words again.
Those words, that is a Twitter take, and it's still going to be considered inappropriate for you to say that out
True.
in the
That
real
won't
But these
stop
things
me.
change very slowly, very incrementally, and the culture will ebb and flow in either direction. And maybe this is a sign that we're going back to the same kind of environment it was in the 2000s. But I think that it's kind of spoiled by the context in which he used the R slur. Because he was telling a story about his sister's kids. She has 3 adopted kids who are black, and she has 1 child of her own who has Down syndrome. That kid with Down syndrome was getting bullied on the playground, and he tells this story of how the 3 adopted kids who were black came and beat up the bully. And that's the context in which he said the R slur. And then he said like the bully was white, and he was like, yeah, beat up that cracker.
Yeah.
And that's right when the audience of SNL, it feels safe to laugh at it. Someone said,
and he also he uses I hate being like this, the R slur. He uses it in
YouTube.
I know it's not anyone's fault, in a self-deprecating way, because the joke is everyone says he looks like Uncle Shane. So like he in a way looks like that.
Sure.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
So,
but he had to do it in a way that's like, it's not punching down.
Right.
Like it's very humanizing. It's very
That's his
empathetic.
job
And like
as a comedian to be able to do that.
And what I'm trying to say is he was smart because he was playing the audience. Like even though he was trying to push it to the degree that he was pushing it, he was cognizant that it was cable television to, awfuls. Like, he knew that that's who he was making the joke to.
he's like playing both sides.
This was a list of some of the headlines, again, to point out what the media said. Hold on. There we go.
Chair.
Shane Gillis returns to Saturday Night Live and bombs opening monologue. SNL host tells audience not to Google why he was fired. Open monologue by addressing getting fired. So the whole point is that they want you to not look. They want you to just assume he failed because it helps them on their side of what they would deem the culture war.
Sure. Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Boring.
This guy is not the second coming of Norm Macdonald, and you shouldn't hype him up to be that.
He's super funny. And what I'm saying, and again, if you watch his podcast, which I think, by the way, is like the #1 Patreon anything right now.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, he's killing it. And he himself is legitimately funny. However, him being on, I just hate that we validate dying media so much. They're lame.
Yep.
They suck. We shouldn't care that that
he was even on.
Yeah, that he's even on. They're so lucky that he graced them with his presence. Yep. And I feel like everyone is misguided when it comes to this culture war stuff.
Well, it's a nice turn of events that they came crawling back after they did him dirty like that. And it's nice to see that, at least in that sense, there's a shift going on in the culture where you actually can recover after being canceled. And 2019, 2020 was like the very height, I think, of cancel culture, and it's been declining ever since.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I did notice that he played it safe, and he had to, because he's relying on the establishment medium. Phil said that was a laugh of relief. It was something the crowd was allowed to laugh at.
Right.
Another one said he knew they would like it. That's what makes it ironic. Even throwing in cracker for more applause. It's twisted, but it's genius. He told a woke joke so he could squeeze in a couple of no-no words and pull one over on the normies. Quite brilliant.
But this is what I mean, like brilliant. Like, it's a joke.
Oh, they were being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
They were being
Thank
sarcastic.
God. Thank you. I didn't catch that at all. Sorry.
Yeah. But I'm happy for him that he's had this comeback.
Yeah, I mean,
and that he proved to a lot of people that you don't need the establishment media to prop you up, and he made it on his own.
I'm just glad he's rich and he's way funnier than any of these people, and he makes skits and they're way better than
And
the skits that they do.
We didn't even get to that. So they're actually the funniest skit that he did in the whole thing was the Limu the Emu skit that was making fun of Liberty Mutual, and that wasn't even aired. It was way funnier.
Oh, really? Why not?
That one wasn't on air from what they said. That was the only one that I like. That one, and I like the one about sports betting, about gambling on your friend's gambling addiction, which I thought was
I just
hilarious.
watched the HR skit and
I didn't see that.
I just didn't. Maybe it's just SNL is the problem. They're not good.
Obviously, yeah, it's obviously.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.